Good afternoon. Welcome to What's Up Wednesday with Renee Weaver-Wright here at My Virtual Academy. Thank you for joining us today. And as always, if you have any questions, if you want to ask them while we're having our little presentation here, we'd be happy to answer them as we move forward with our presentation. The world we live in today is kind of a scary place, or can be a scary place. There's a lot of different things involved in today's world than many years ago. We've talked a little bit about the office equipment that was different when I was growing up, when I first became trained as a typing and shorthand teacher. You know, you don't even have shorthand anymore. But the internet has really added a different dimension too in terms of the way the world works and operates. And it's one of those things that we really just can't be too careful of, especially in the virtual world where we're working with students on a virtual basis. And so I'd like to introduce today our guest, Mark Krutell, who is our Director of Security and Community Relations here with My Virtual Academy. Mark's been with us about 7 years and is a proud retired police officer from the Clinton Township Police Department here, and has a lot of different connections in the community and brings in a lot of different interesting speakers and workshops and things for our staff. And Mark works with our brick and mortar locations as well as our virtual programs. So Mark, if you were talking to a parent today about the virtual world that we live in and about their child who's maybe an 8 or 9-year-old, what would you say to them about virtual safety or safety on the internet?
Well, first of all, the virtual world is here to stay.
Oh, very good.
You can either fight it or use it as a valuable tool. And that's what we try to do with our students,
Right.
to use it as a valuable tool. For the elementary students under the age of 12, any kind of electronic advice needs to be supervised. For most part, the kids are already going to know how to use it,
Right.
which will probably surprise a lot of parents. But the younger generation has all the intelligence on how to use all this new equipment that's coming out.
Right.
So the key to that and being successful is to monitor it appropriately.
And to not feel bad about monitoring it.
And not
right?
feel bad about
That's
it.
your responsibility as a
Correct,
parent.
absolutely,
to
as a
monitor
parent.
it. Yeah.
And a way to kind of get invited as a parent, myself included as a parent of 3, instead of sitting down and saying, this is how this works, I use the philosophy, can you teach me how to use it?
Oh, okay.
So by doing that, they're inviting me into what they're doing. And then you can go from there with cell phones, notepads, laptops, etc.
Yeah.
And for the younger generation too, the location that they're using it in.
Oh, okay.
A lot of students like to grab that laptop and disappear into a bedroom.
Right. Right.
At that stage, it's very difficult as a parent to monitor it. I would suggest that you give time restrictions on it when the parent or the guardian, whoever it may be at that time, is available to monitor. And also restrictions on where it can be used in a living room where a lot of people have access or coming and going, or the kitchen table or desk near the kitchen where there's a lot of foot traffic where as a parent you can help monitor it but not leave the impression you're spying.
Right. All right. That's
same time.
great. Those are great points. And then what would you say to our students, middle school through high school students? How can they be safe on the internet?
Well, there's a lot of avenues where you can get into trouble there. And the internet's a valuable toolbox. And anytime anybody has any kind of hesitation, any types of pop-ups that arrive, things of that nature, get out of it. I myself still to this day get certain things that show up on my laptop that I'm not sure about. Intuition tells me to stop.
Right.
Then I go find somebody that's got the technology or whatever the means are to say, what should I do at this stage?
And with our equipment that we send out to our students, a lot of things are blocked so that they
Absolutely.
can't go to places
Absolutely.
they should not be going.
All of
that's a concern.
our equipment that's used by our students that is mailed out to the home or used in the brick and mortar has been blocked by our techs. And that's one of the first things they do when we get the equipment.
Right.
Is that we lock things down so that the students that we mail it out to at home or in the brick and mortar only is able to gain access to the programs that we're teaching.
Right, right.
So that it's a tight rope that
Yeah.
they can't venture off into areas that will get them into trouble.
Right. And we even have some programs built in that we can see where the students are going.
Absolutely.
So that when we have students that are going places they should not be, that we can get in touch with the parents or the student if they're over 18. To,
Absolutely.
Get them
Absolutely.
back on track with where they need to
Right.
be. With
And
that. So-
also even in the brick and mortar classrooms, the site manager has access in their office to be able to find what Johnny's doing.
Yeah.
They can,
the student.
from their office, they can check to see what each individual student's working on
Right.
and how long they've been there,
Right.
to help monitor to see if the student's struggling, if they need help,
Yeah.
or if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Now, what would you say in terms of adults? You know, especially this holiday season, online shopping. You know, all those things. What do adults need to be? The same kinds of things as the children, as the young
Absolutely.
adults? So-
If you haven't used the internet to do any purchasing, I'd recommend that you get somebody, an adult who has, and have them teach you.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
It's much more convenient, but then there's always the consideration on the packages getting delivered
Right.
and what goes on your front porch.
Yes, yes.
So if you do use that and you are ordering gifts over the internet, regarding the delivery, make sure somebody's there.
And I think the point you made too about going on your gut. You know, if you get emails that don't seem right or pop-ups or whatever, to just not open them. Just
Not open them, delete them.
delete them. Yeah.
My biggest concern is that I'm going to get a virus on my
Yeah,
laptop.
Right, right.
So if it's something that I'm not familiar with, I'm not expecting, I just delete out of it
Good.
to
very
go
good.
forward.
Mark has another very important job with us, and that's for our graduations. He's
Mm-hmm.
in charge of getting the roses for the students. We give each graduate a rose
We
as
do.
they walk across the stage, and that's Mark's job, is to get those
Yes.
roses. Can you share with us a story from graduation that sticks out in your mind?
I have one out of Diploma Success from a few years
Oh,
ago.
okay.
So it was a brick and mortar school in Harper Woods. We had a student that was working diligently in the brick and mortar, and then he showed up one day in tears that his mother has cancer,
Oh,
and that he wasn't going to be able to come to our brick and mortar school anymore because he had to stay home to help take care of his mother.
yeah.
So we made arrangements to send him a laptop home so he could take care of his mother and continue to work. The following year, Mom went into remission with the cancer.
Oh, wow.
He came back to the brick and mortar,
Yeah.
finished up his last few classes, and that June we had Mom there for his son's graduation.
Oh, that's a great, great story. That's
But
a great,
what's
great
unique
story.
about our company is that we basically got a shoe that fits everybody's foot to get them that high school diploma.
Oh, very
So
good.
if they have to work from home, we got something that will fit them. If they have to work from the brick and mortar, we got something that will fit them.
That's a very good picture. That's a very good visual, I guess. You know, that we have a shoe that fits
Fits
every foot.
Foot.
Yeah.
And everybody's feet are different.
Everybody's feet are
And they're all different sizes, and they all
Right,
call for a
right.
different shoe.
Yeah, yeah.
And-
That's great. That's great.
And not every program is fit for every student.
Right.
But
right.
we have so many different options and avenues that somewhere in our lineup, we got something that works for every student.
Yeah, oh, that's great. That's a great visual. So thank you so much for being
Oh,
with
you're
us
welcome.
today.
My pleasure.
For sharing
Like to-
and some ideas on how we can stay safe on the internet this holiday season and all year round, and especially to keep our young people safe, because that's just such an important
Absolutely.
thing that we're
And
charged with doing.
one last thing regarding the safety at the holiday season, the buddy system.
Oh, right.
For to and from school, to and from
Yeah.
shopping.
Mhm.
So keep that in mind, and I hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
And thanks for joining us this week, and we hope to see you again next week for What's Up Wednesdays with Renee Weaver-Wright. So thank you so much. Have a great day.